turn that down. Well, it says we're live. It says there's people watching. Who knows if that's really true or not?
We got 15 on here.
It looks like it, according to my phone.
Tito's on here. Joe's on here. Wyatt's on here. What's up, fellas?
Make sure it's nice and quiet. Hydrating already.
With a backup as well.
That's the cold one. This was the warm one, so. All right. I'll let it build up here a little bit more. A lot of stuff to cover today. A lot of good stuff. Some not so good stuff, but a lot more good stuff. Yeah. So get those questions ready. Make sure I bring up my comments list over here so I can see it. I'm going to put something up there here real quick. This one. Just going to let that scroll for a while. We'll talk more about that.
So when are you leaving for Axialfest?
Same time you are.
I know. Saturday. We'll be
Saturday morning
headed out to California
early before the sun comes up.
Oh, that's right. I'm getting a ride from you to the airport.
That's right. You get there when I get there. All right. What do you say we get started? I'm showing quite a few up there. Not as many on here, so who knows? But that's the combination of the two because we're live on YouTube and Facebook.
Yeah.
Trying something a little different these last couple of lives. Making sure I got everything else shut down on my laptop here so I don't have to see anything else pop up. All right, I'm going to switch over to the agenda.
Just going to grab something.
I just going to disappear real quick. And then we'll do our introductions because we always forget. He's grabbing his laptop too. You could have used your laptop in the outline.
I could have. Should have. Might have probably been dead on me.
Everybody's sitting there waiting. What's going on? What are we doing? Maybe. You try to bring it up on there too?
Yeah.
You see all the comments?
Easier for me to read.
You ready to introduce yourself?
I am. I'm Isaac Esslinger, event coordinator here at Horizon.
Andrew Ziegler, trade show and events manager here at Horizon. And today, if you didn't know, because it's already in the description there, we're talking about Axialfest. Doing our live before we leave. Our customary annual live before we hit the road to head out west for Axialfest West, Rob's Resort, July 19th through the 22nd. As you see scrolling there on the bottom continuously, the Wednesday that we have added this year, it's the first time we're doing it out west, is for those that are pre-registered only that got their tickets on Eventbrite. So if you are not pre-registered, you don't have your tickets already, do not come until Thursday. Registration will open up at 9 a.m. on Thursday. So the Wednesday, everything we're going to talk about here in a little bit when it comes to the Wednesday, is only for those that are pre-registered and have already bought their tickets. And we'll talk a little bit more about that as well. One thing on the top of my list here, I think some of you have seen the schedule has been put out there. When we put the schedule out there for West, we were still kind of going back and forth on one of the events, and we're proud to say, and it's already been put out there, that the 5K is going to happen, the Scale Ultra 5K. We found a couple individuals that were willing to step up and run it, lay out the course. This guy's one of them.
Not running it this time.
You did run it at the Badlands.
I did run at the Badlands.
And I saw some pictures of you with your sleeves cut off and a headband. And...
Yeah, I broke down a few times, but I fixed and I finished, which was plenty for me.
That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. So we will be adding that back in there. It won't be on all the printed schedules. It won't be on the back of your pit pass, all that stuff, but it will be Friday morning. We'll have some more information on Wednesday at Axialfest and on Thursday night at the awards and whatnot. We'll be able to give all the information and when that'll be able to be first thing on Friday morning. The Scale Ultra 5K will be returning to Rob's Resort for Axialfest West. So thanks for those that stepped up and to run it. Unfortunately, Chris wasn't able to make it out to do it. He has got another job now, can't get the time off and whatnot. So huge thanks to Chris for working with those individuals, including yourself, to make it happen at West.
Hopefully, Chris's new job is equally as fun.
And next year, he'll hopefully be able to join us.
That's right.
Just a reminder, do not contact Rob's Resort. Just about every day I get an email from Rob's Resort with somebody reaching out to them, asking them questions. They are just the event site, basically, and everything is handled through us. So please reach out to us, whether it's here on Facebook, whether it's the Axialfest at horizonhobby.com email. There's a lot of ways to reach out to us. So
I'm always answering questions on Eventbrite.
That's true. So make sure you reach out to us, as Robert's Resort doesn't really have all that information. And we'll get an answer back to you just as soon as we can. As we are traveling here, starting on Saturday, it might take a little bit longer. So maybe reach out on Facebook. We'll be doing some more lives from Rob's as soon as we get everything kind of set up and going. And so we'll be able to answer some questions.
And you'll see more familiar faces as well.
That's very true. Very true. The first thing on my list here going down, meadow camping. Cover a couple topics about that. The meadow is all dried up. There is still a little bit of water running through the creek. Some of you might already know there is a surprise waiting for us in the creek in the meadow. I won't say anything. Somebody might say something here in the comments or whatever. But there is a nice fresh surprise waiting for everyone. And we're asking that we're expecting more campers this year. And so we're asking you, try not to spread out your camps too much. Don't take up too much space. We're not saying cram in tight, sit right next to your RV, stuff like that. But kind of be mindful of the space that you are taking up out in the meadow. Try to keep some orderly rows if possible. We know it's not a perfect square out there, and we're not going to delineate every single space. We want to keep it first come, first serve, but respect other people's space and whatnot, and make sure we can get everybody coming in there. We'll try not to have anybody move. But if you're pulling in next to somebody, obviously don't encroach on their space too much, but park close enough, become friends with them, and make sure we got enough space in the meadow to get anybody in. It's like 10 acres, so there should be plenty of space, but at the same time, we expect quite a few more campers to come through there. On that note, Rob's Resort no longer has a liquor license, so it's not a functioning operating bar. So some of the rules and whatnot that were in place last year are no longer in existence. They've changed. The biggest one is the age restrictions on the Lido deck. There was only certain spots where kids could go, and they couldn't go in that area that's called the Lido deck and up to the stage. We made a couple exceptions here and there, but that is no longer the case. And so it's also, I'm just say this once and that's it, BYOB, but drink responsibly. Clean up after yourselves. Don't act a fool. Don't be an idiot. And yeah, that's the last time I'm going to say that. Not encouraging anything else when it comes to that. So only other thing I'll say about that is BYOB your water and everything else. Stay hydrated. But there will be food service available starting Wednesday afternoon. The same food service people had over there, Valen's Tacos, will be up there on the grill working it out. So probably sometime around the gate opening time, they will be available. They'll be in the same spot, and the menu will be almost identical. So they'll be serving Wednesday afternoon. So once you get checked in and whatnot, we'll cover that process a little bit as well too. Feel free to head up there and get you a bite to eat, get you a drink. We will have a couple hydration stations of just water to fill up your water bottles and all that stuff. And then we will have ice available for sale as well, so you don't have to head down the hill to get that. Well, this one's in bold. Fire restriction. We're following all the local fire safety regulations. I don't know exactly what they are right now, but we're saying that there is a fire hazard, whatnot going on. So for the safety of all guests in the surrounding woods and lands, wood-burning fires are not allowed. So no solid fuel fires, definitely not wood-burning fires. Propane fires, all those, you guys that live out there in California and the West know all about, what it's all about. Here in the Midwest, we rarely ever have any fire bans, so we don't really know what it's all about. But you guys know and understand what's allowed, what's not, and let's just be mindful of how conditions are up there. Yeah, it was super wet, a lot of snow this year and a lot of rain, but it's basically all dried up now, and things are kind of back to normal up there. So a little dry. The forecast looks like it's going to be a little warm, so that also will add to the dryness as well. So make sure you stay hydrated. We are at a little bit of an elevation, but not too bad. So make sure you stay hydrated. And no solid wood fires, no wood burning fires. Any important questions pop up while I was doing all that yakking?
Yeah, we had one. When are we coming to Germany? There's an air meet there.
Well, air meet will be going on in Germany, Donnerworth, Germany, on the 12th and 13th of August.
Let's see, when we're coming to Colorado, you guys are close enough to California. You can make it over there.
Oh, here we go. What about Axialfest East? As far east as we're going right now, Douglas, is the Badlands. And that's a notable drive, easy drive for those that are central East Coast. We have this conversation all the time, come to the East Coast. Where do we go? Do we go Maine? Do we go to Florida? Do we go to Pennsylvania? Go in between? Because the East Coast is a long coast. And no matter where we go, we can't appease everybody.
No, and to let you guys know, between my vacations and then our work schedule, I have not been home after this Axial Fest. I will have not been home for 11 weekends in a row.
And I'm going to disappear after this Axial Fest for a long, long time because I need a vacation. All right, continuing down the list here, staying on track. Talk a little bit about the schedule. Wednesday nights, the Wednesday welcome party. You'll see it scrolling down there on the bottom. I'll say it again. Wednesday is for pre-registered attendees, only those that have already have their tickets that got them on Eventbrite months ago. So that was one of the incentives that we always threw out there. If you want to come in and get early, take advantage of it, get your tickets, get that spot, you'll be good to go. And so a little bit about the welcome party. We are going to cover a few things that night. We have added it in based on what we have done at the Badlands the last couple of years, and it's worked out great. So Wednesday was added in to get rid of the rush from Thursday morning, basically. When gates would open at 9 o'clock, everybody would be lined up, ready to go. They'd want to get registered, get their stuff teched, get to their campsite, get set up. It's just a rush to get out on the trails, to not burn a majority of the day.
And to not have people out on the road.
Well, yeah, and stack everything up. And so Wednesday was added in to kind of alleviate some of that. There's no trails open on Wednesday. They're probably still going to be being built, being modified, all that stuff, and themed out. So Wednesday is designed as kind of a come in, chill day, get registered, get your vehicles teched, get all checked in, get your camp set up without having to feel like I got to go to take full advantage of the crawling today and the competitions and everything else. The only thing that is officially on the schedule is the Wednesday night welcome party. And that will consist of a few of us up giving you guys information. We're going to cover the schedule, make some important announcements. We're going to cover some rules. We're going to talk about some regulations, some expectations. We'll cover the fire ban again. We'll talk about all the ins and outs of Rob's Resort and what basically the rest of the week and weekend for Axial Fest will have in store. We also, I'm going to throw this out there because I think it's officially official now. We will have a new product announcement. You guys will get not really a sneak peek because it'll be going live the next day. So we'll talk about it at the Wednesday night party as well. So you get to see it hours ahead of when the rest of the world will get to see it online. And then if everything works out, I'm going to knock on wood. We're going to have frozen treats for everybody. We kind of call it an ice cream social. The ice cream will be down the hill. We'll try to get it up there without melting it. So fingers crossed that it works out the way we have it planned, that everybody will get some ice cream. It's a huge fan favorite at Badlands. And so we decided to add it in to the West. It's just logistically a little bit harder to get that many ice cream sandwiches. And
if we pre-cool our canyon coolers
and treats, and
we should be good
up the hill. So
I got a question here about what about those who are on the wait list for the deluxe RV spots? Are any more going to be available?
I don't think we've had anybody back out of those. The wait list automatically sends out to the next person if one does come up. I'll go back through and look and see if we've got any that have backed out and gotten any refunds, but I don't think that we have. There will not be any additional added. I think we're maxed out on the number that we've got now, and a buffer of one or two just in case for staff stuff and easement. Sometimes we can't get as many in there just because we've got to keep parts of the the road and stuff cleared with the way we have vendor rows set up and whatnot. So, any other questions before we? I'm gonna breeze through the schedule. I know it's been posted out there, but just kind of covering some of the highlights here and there. And nothing.
Yeah, nothing.
Okay. The schedule is posted out there. I know it's on the Axial Facebook page. I think it's on the Red Hobby Facebook page. It might be on the Instagram page. But it's readily available. There'll be big banners of it there. It's also on the back of your pit pass. We should have a couple of those back to show, but we already shipped everything out there. Wednesday is the welcome party, like I said, with all the information we're going to give you guys. The new product launch as well, talking about the event, the map, all that good stuff. Thursday morning at 9 a.m., registration and tech will open for those that are just showing up, or if they got in after the time and didn't get their vehicles tech, they can do that starting at 9 a.m. That's when all the trails will open as well. They will not open any earlier than 9 a.m. There will be no night crawling on Wednesday or anything like that. So no trails available until Thursday at 9 a.m. Also on Thursday is the UTAC competition, the Ultimate Team Adventure Challenge, hosted by Bill and Dooley from Recon G6. We need to get as many people sign up as possible for that because it's super fun. There's 2-man, 3-man, and 4+ man teams. And it is a series of different events that are put on by those two. And there's some different challenges. There's a riddle involved. There's my favorite is always the wearing the goggles that are blacked out
with the googly eyes.
And with the googly eyes, one of the driver has to drive with the goggles on, and the other person has to tell them where to go. And it's fun to watch how those interactions go between whether it's husband and wife or friends or son and father. Those type of things. It's cool to see how they get it all figured out and make their way through the challenges. But it's super fun. So we encourage as many people as possible to join in for that. And then basically the only other thing that day is awards and the nightly raffle. So we'll have the awards from the UTEC competition if they're all ready to go with those. Sometimes it takes a little while to tally up all the scores and get the awards for those. So it could just be a raffle, and then everybody will be free to go out and hit the trails at night and do some unofficial night crawling.
And Zach, the shower situation is the same as last year, which I thought worked out pretty well.
Yep.
Warm water in a tent under the stars.
Hot water too. It was hot water. But we will have the showers set up again as well for those that need the showers. Friday registration opens at 8:30. If you are unable to make it up the hill before then, and that's your first day, 8:30 is when registration at tech will open. The TTC, the Tough Truck Competition Challenge, whatever you want to call it, starts at 9 a.m. and that's an individual competition to where I think it's 5 or 6 different segments, and they are set up in. I guess I kind of said that wrong. There are 5 or 6 different events, 4 or 5 different events with segments within each, 4 different segments within each, and you get points for how far you reach. It's all different types of things, different classes. We'll cover those a little bit later as we kind of run through that as well. Concourse is also, wait a minute, I'm on Friday, right? I completely forgot about the 5K and I wrote it in here.
You did.
I scribbled it in here, but I don't have the exact times in front of me, but I think registration for the 5K starts Friday morning at 7 a.m. So it's bright and early. Get up and run while the sun's still a little low in the shade. And it's not so hot. So 5K first thing Friday morning. In the afternoon on Friday after the TTC, concourse staging will begin and judging. So if you got a show and shine vehicle, you want to put something in there, that's the time to do it. I'll cover the categories and that real quick when we get down to all the rest of the stuff at the bottom of my page here. And that will be it for the competitions for the day. We'll have our nightly awards and raffle. And then after that, we will have the Light Up the Night Crawl sponsored by Pitbull RC. So we'll have a place where we'll all meet, get a nice group shot, and going out in the woods and doing some night crawling with a course set up by Bill and Dooley. Saturday morning, registration starts at 8:30. We've got the rock racing and rock bouncing. Those two will happen concurrent to each other. And then nightly awards raffle. And then we wrap up Axialfest for the weekend. So that's kind of a brief, basic blow through of the schedule. There's more details on the maps and the schedule banners and on the back of your guys' pit passes once you get those. I just wanted to kind of cover that. And you can find that out there somewhere. Other comments, questions before I move on?
No. I don't think so.
Dooley wants some sweet tea.
Milo's sweet tea.
All right. I'm going
Gotta
to
keep those two happy.
go through some of the categories real quick for concourse and rock racing and all that. We'll post it in here when we're done, so you can go back and see it as well, what exactly they are. Very similar to last year, we've added a couple categories, took away a category or two. But for concourse, we've got daily driver. And that's basically any vehicle that you feel doesn't fit in the other categories. It's one that's used a lot. It's not a pretty show, shiny vehicle whatsoever. Next is adventurous. That is more of your kind of overland. It's more exciting. There's more details possibly to it. I know we've had some like camp dioramas set up with it and whatnot with the adventurous category. 15 under category, self-explanatory. The beater to raisin category, that's the beaters with the heaters, the rusted out junk buckets.
The ones that have rolled down the hill.
Yeah. Trailer category, it could be just a trailer, could be a vehicle hooked to a trailer, could be any scale, just as long as there's a trailer involved in it. Good to go there. The SCX and AX24 category, anything in the smallest category. SCX6, anything that's SCX6 category. Bomber Wraith category. Rift Bouncer category. We have added in an old school category, so that covers quite a few things that we no longer have in the lineup, been around for a while. So you can basically put quite a bit of anything in that category as well.
Like a LMT, or not LMT, you got old
monster
school,
truck,
old school axial monster truck.
Yeah, lots of stuff.
Yeah.
Exos, all that stuff. So Capra category. We have a themed category. There is no theme to Axialfest, but if you have a crawler or vehicle or whatever that is themed out to Jurassic Park or Ghostbusters or Rainbow Bright or anything, whatever theme. I think we saw a Pikachu Pokemon one at some point, there whatever.
Was a dragon, I think.
Dragon, unicorn. We've seen a unicorn. And then the last one is 1/18th scale. So anything that's 18th scale. Those are the categories. Like I said, we'll post these in here as well. Rock racing, we've got 5 different categories in rock racing. I lied, there's 7. Look down far enough. We've got a 1.9 factory, a 1.9 open, 2.2 factory, and a 2.2 open. So the factory classes are your stock, basically stock out of the box, the way they are. Open is completely modified, whatever you want to do to it. 2.2 IFS FIS class, and then we've got 2 kids classes, a 10 and under, and then an 11 to 15 class. For rock bouncing, we've got basically the factory class and the open class, just the 2 different classes. That's it. UTAC, as I mentioned before, it's a 2-person, 3-person, or 4+ person teams. So you have multiple options there depending on how many are in your group. If you have a group of more than 4, I think they usually try to split them into multiple groups. So if you got 6 in your group, you might do like 2 3-person teams or a 4 to 2 or whatever. They usually try to split it up so there aren't too many people, because some of the challenges are limited to the number of people that can really participate in them. TTC, there are multiple classes here. There's a 4.19 or smaller. These are tire sizes. 4.75 or smaller. 4.76. And then I don't know if they're going to do the pro class or not. And then to top it all off, there will be an SCX6 class that runs after everything else is done, because the SCX6s tend to destroy the the courses and stuff they have set up. So they will they'll bring up the rear end and do that last. For the Scale Ultra, multiple categories. There's an overall winner. Obviously, there's a 45 plus, a 35 to 44, a 25 to 34, a 24 and under, a 1.9 class, and a women's class. So those are all the classes for all of the competitions and whatnot. Like I said, we'll post all these in a comment in here as soon as we're done, just so you guys can see them. You're gonna go questions or anything before you move on?
Is Rob's running the kids raffle again this year? Is that what something Shane and Craig just kind of did on the spot?
Yeah, and I think when I talked to Shane yesterday or day before, I think he did mention wanting to do that again. So
okay.
That was a very positive thing for sure. All right, we'll keep looking for questions.
Nick Davey, is Isaac attempting to beat his Axialfest Badlands 2023 record-setting time at the West Scale Ultra?
Isaac will not be running it. He's going to be running it.
Running it.
He won't be running in it. He will be managing it.
Record-setting time. It came in almost last.
There's another question. Johnny Jackson, what is the camping field conditions like? Solid ground or muddy mess? It is solid ground. It's all dried up out there. The good thing about the meadow, I'm sure, a million years ago or something, it was probably a lake up there or something, but it's got a creek running right through the middle of it, and it's all kind of sloped to that creek, and it's dry out there. So
it rains pretty well.
No mud whatsoever. All right, we're going to talk about, let's see, we've got some sponsor stuff to talk about a little bit, and vendors who are going to be on site. Now for the not so good stuff. I got a call a couple of days ago from Deanna from RPP, and they have been a long-standing sponsor and vendor with Axialfest for many years. And she called with a phone call she did not want to have with me, I could tell. And she told me later on she did not want to. RPP is not going to be able to attend Axialfest this year. They have had multiple family emergencies on multiple different fronts by involving quite a few different individuals at RPP. And so they just cannot get away. We all here know that family comes first. And in the end, we're just all out there playing with, tiny trucks and toy trucks. But family always comes first. And so we want to send our thoughts out to all those at RPP that have been affected by these family emergencies, and we wish them the best. They're still going to be sponsoring, supporting. They will just not be on site because of not being able to get away. So they wanted to send out the message saying, we're still here. We're not going anywhere. They wish they could be here, but family comes first, and they've got to take care of their families and whatnot first. So we will always welcome them back with open arms. And like I said, they're still going to support, just not going to be on the grounds there with us. So that kind of brings me into the next thing when it comes to sponsors. Thankfully, in the last day or so, we've been able to talk to a couple different vendors. And one of the biggest things that RPP kind of brought to the table was the parts and accessories sales, along with all the other great stuff that they provided. And we're working with Jake's Performance Hobbies, and they're going to come down and kind of attempt to fill in the shoes of RPP and provide parts support and accessory support along as kits and other stuff as well. So we'd like to welcome Jake's Performance Hobbies to the mix there. And yeah, I'm just going to go through the list of sponsors. It's absolutely necessary to do this and thank these sponsors because we could not do this without them. There's a lot that goes into Axialfest when it comes to product and financials and all that stuff. So a huge thanks to all of these sponsors. I'm going to run through the entire sponsor list in alphabetical order, then tell you guys all the vendors that are committed to come and will be with us at Rob's Resort.
It's always fun getting the goodies in before you guys, so you guys don't know what they are. We know what they are. It's always fun to see what it is.
Yep, for all the raffle goodies. Sometimes somebody wants to keep the good stuff for themselves, but we don't let that happen. Did you point at me?
No.
All right. So in alphabetical order, thanks to all of the sponsors, Adventure Rentals, Badlands Off-Road Park, home of Axialfest Badlands. For all of you watching for West only, next year, try to make some plans to come out and hang out with us in Attica, Indiana, at the Badlands Off-Road Park. For Axialfest Badlands, it's a great time. This year was the driest year we've ever had.
Oh, super dry. I think we were watering things down. It was so dry.
Yep. So no rain and not a lot of mud. So it was kind of far extreme the other way this year. BB Mods, the official transportation sponsor of Axialfest Badlands. Canyon Cooler, Castle Creations, Crawler Canyon, CRC, Curry Enterprises, Custom Wheelhouse, Fast Eddie's Bearings, Fine Laser Designs, Fury Tech, Jen's Ace, Heatwave, High Tech, Hobby Wing, Joe Ropes, Laser Nut, Little Uglies RC, my favorite name, Magnaflow, MIP, My Trick RC, Nitto Tires, NSDRC, Off the Trail Campgrounds, Pitbull Tires, Raceline Wheels, Reefs RC, Rob's Resort, Rock Pirates RC, RPP, Rugged Radios, the official sponsor of rock racing at Axialfest, Scale Metal Supplies, Summit Racing, Trail Hero, Vanquish, Wheel Pros, and of course, Jake's Performance Hobbies added into the bottom of the list there. So thank you, a huge thank you to all of those sponsors there. Some of them will be attending with us. And the one on the top of that list is not true, so I'm going to write that out of there. So these are the vendors and sponsors that will be joining us for Axialfest West 2023 at Rob's Resort. Canyon Cooler, Mr. John Martin himself will be making the trip out there. Fast Eddie's Bearings, Fury Tech, Jen's Ace, High Tech, Hobby Wing, Jake's Performance Hobbies, Joe Ropes, Little Uglies RC, MIP, My Trick RC, NSD RC, Operation 11 Charlie, RC Car Action, Reefs RC, Rock Pirate RC, and Vanquish. So quite a few vendors on site with us this year. It's an increasing number year after year, so that's definitely good to see. So
let's see. We have a very important question here.
Uh-oh.
What is the earliest we can show up on Wednesday if you bought your tickets pre-registered?
1 p.m. That is when the gates will open. 1 p.m. Just like last year, you remember us saying many, many, many times, do not come up the hill at 9 a.m., sit in line, get backed up on the road. The sheriff, the forest folks, all of them will get extremely mad because that's a main road to get to parts of the Rubicon Trail. So if there were an emergency or whatnot, we're blocking the highway. That's a huge no-no.
Anybody with badges and lights on the top of
it. We do not want that whatsoever. So plan accordingly. There are places along the way coming up Ice House Road. There's a couple different parks, lakes, places to pull off and kind of chill. There is not a huge reason to come barreling in at 1 o'clock. There's plenty, or before 1 o'clock, there's plenty of space. Plenty of spots if you have a water hookup spot, you'll be good to go, guaranteed that no matter what. So just kind of pace it out, take it easy, and 1 o'clock is when the gates will open, and we are. I'll say this again: we're checking right at the gate before you even get in if you have pre-registered or not. If you show up to the gate and you're not pre-registered, you will be turned around and sent away. We are not set up for that, and we've been saying it all along that Wednesday is just for the pre-registered. It's been scrolling across the bottom here over and over and over and over and over again. So
we lost the. Chris asked if there's going to be ice cream, and then James said they lost the ice cream at Badlands. We found it. We gave it all away.
Oh,
we just have to go get more.
We didn't lose it. There were multiple issues with the ice cream, and it was frozen when you got it. So, another question: are we able to come set up camp stuff prior to checking on Wednesday? No, it's not. This is not an open campgrounds, open to the public campgrounds. Basically, a private campgrounds that they do events only, and we are in there that week doing setup and stuff. So no, it's got to be 1 o'clock on Wednesday.
Jeremy asked when will Badlands people be contacted about the awards?
That's a great question, Jeremy. That was on the bottom of my list to cover, and we'll send out some other messages along those lines too. We actually do now have the awards in our possession. They're in California, not here in Illinois. And with us doing all the preparation for West and some other events that we have here at Horizon going on at the exact same time, we haven't been able to do anything with them. Next week, we will be calling out to all those that were on the list, the award winners, to collect all of the addresses and whatnot to ship. And then once we get back from Axialfest West, we will start to ship those out. So we know it needs to be done. We're sorry for the delay, but if we don't have them, we can't really do anything with them. But we do have them now, and we'll get them all set and ready to go after Axialfest West. So,
how's your foot?
My foot is doing a lot better. I'm out of a boot now. I'm in a brace. I got a limp going on. Physical therapy a couple times a week, so I'll have to do my own physical therapy.
Or if there's any physical therapist coming to Axialfest West, come see them.
But no, it's getting there. It's coming along well. I'm farther along than I thought I would be, but then at the same time, I wish I was further along because it's still like I need to do this. I can do it, but it's kind of slow to get there. So maybe I should join the Trail Turtles out of the Chicagoland area because I'm kind of on their pace now. if Tito's still watching.
Chris calls it a Cali gangster limp.
Not quite. I mean, it's more just a special. My ankle kind of is stiff and swollen limp. It's not. Yeah.
Day passes will be available only on Saturday. That went out to Matt.
Let's see that one. Let's see. What else is on my list here? I think we covered all the good stuff. Start firing the questions in there, everybody. I know you got some.
Do we know what clubs have what trails?
Is that from Paul Russell Jr.?
Yes, it is.
We're still working on that, but I'll reach out to you here very, very shortly. Oh, there's Tito and his turtle. Is there a limit to concourse entries? No, there's not. You just have to get them lined up and in the spot where they need to go and the time that placement is going on.
Yep.
We tried to get him to raffle his crutches, but he insisted he needed them. Yes, I did need them. Thankfully, about last week, I kind of went down to one crutch for a little while and then completely got rid of it. But yeah.
What time does European karaoke start on Thursday?
What's
Well,
European karaoke?
I don't know. We'll have Randall up there probably holding on to a bear again. Who knows?
I'm not sure what European karaoke is.
Oh, but it sounds interesting.
Oh, this one's too big. We got to click on it. Will screenshots from Eventbrite be sufficient to get in on Wednesday? Is there more documentation we can bring with us? All right, so yeah, let me cover that part real quick. If you are able to print out your tickets, there's a QR code on there, or if you could have them on your phone, do screenshots and save them in your photos for when you pull up there. For those that have been Rob's Resort, off the highway, there is a road that kind of leads back to the resort, and there's a gate there. We'll have a couple people stationed there that will be checking to make sure you're pre-registered. They will have a list as well, but it'd be easier if you could show them that you have this year's tickets purchased and everything to be able to let you in. If you're not pre-registered and you're coming on that Wednesday, we're going to turn you around and send you back out. But if you do have some sort of proof, that'd be a lot easier for the front gate. Once you get in, you're going to take that right, come down the main road like you guys did last year, where we come to what we call the flats, kind of in the bottom there, close to where the end of Vendor Row was, the start of the meadow. That's where we'll be doing registration. Our goal is to let you stay in your vehicles, and we'll come up to your car and get you all registered, check you in on iPads, make sure everybody's good to go, have you sign waivers, get your wristbands, all that good stuff. And then send you on your prospective way, whether you're a VIP hookup spot or out in the meadow. We'll send you on from there. Driver bag pickup and T-shirt pickup will start about an hour after that, and will be in the same location it was last year, outside that shed, kind of up towards the main stage area. We'll have some signage and stuff up there to kind of point you in the right direction, but it's right off of Vendor Row. So that way we can kind of get you in, get checked in, get you moving on your way. Then you come up and get your bags and T-shirts and stuff later. And we'll have lists up there as well with names on them, who gets shirts and whatnot. So that's kind of a brief run through of registration on Wednesday, and probably Thursday we'll do it very similar. So if you do have a printed piece, or you have your Eventbrite app or something just to show the people at the front gate, it'd be easier, a lot easier to get you in. But they'll also be able to look you up by your order as well. So,
and Rick, gates open at 1 on Wednesday. So I found out the difference here between European karaoke, European karaoke and American karaoke. It's the same, but with a different accent. Let's see. How are the bugs there this year? Has Shane said anything about that?
I have not heard about the bugs. I don't know. I think it's dry enough now that it's probably not as much of an issue as when it was. I don't know.
Okay. And Johnny, we will have Axialfest shirts and whatnot, hoodies and whatnot for sale.
We do have some of that.
They were new this year at Badlands, and you guys will be getting the same stuff.
I was hoping to show some of it, but we don't. We sent it all out there, and the hat.
This is one, I guess.
Oh, yeah, that is one of them. That's right. This is the staff shirt. But we stick out in the orange so you guys can find us if need be. Yeah, we got that shirt. There's a black T-shirt with kind of a round logo, and then a hoodie, a very nice, comfy hoodie, which I hope the temperatures get down low enough where we need a hoodie. And then we got hats. I was going to pull one of the hats, but those were all shipped out too. I didn't even get a hat. They sold out so fast. So, yeah. Let's see. What else? Time's the gate open. Can you give a little more information on requirements for passing tech? I'm sure a lot of people on here could answer that question, but the simplest way is if it started as an axial vehicle or is a custom-built vehicle that includes the same transmission and axles, then it will pass tech. We just don't want other manufacturers' vehicles brought in, or if something started as another manufacturer's vehicle and you put a couple axle parts on it, that does not qualify as an axial vehicle. With this being Axialfest, every vehicle is required to be an axial vehicle, a customer appreciation event that we do for you guys. So we don't want to see those other vehicles. If you do bring them up to tech, we'll fail them, and you'll be told to put them away, and we don't want to see them out and about and around. So
speaking of fails,
yeah,
we have a new item for sale this year. I'm not going to really say what it is, but it's
speaking of fail,
it's You guys are gonna like this one.
Oh,
Let's see here. What time to get up now? I just saw another one.
what about the bees this year? That's a loaded question. The bees are always an issue up there. The places where we have cleared trails, there have been some trees fall down here and there, but I think where we have cleared some stuff, the bees are less likely to be in those areas anyway. I do know that Shane made a couple trips out and around. There are some, but they didn't seem to be as bad, I think. But it all just depends on the weather and everything else and what we're stirring up out there. So we're loading up with plenty of bee spray and whatnot to try to deter the bees as much as possible in certain areas where we know they were thick last year. So.
And Joseph, you can purchase tickets on site starting on Thursday. Day passes will only be available on Saturday, though. So it'll be full price tickets Thursday, Friday, and then Saturday day passes.
All right, this is your chance to ask all the questions that you might have. If you're watching this later on and not live, go ahead and put your questions in here. We will review this and see if there's any outstanding questions, and we'll try to answer them for you. We'll probably be wrapping up here in the next 5 minutes or so. It's been almost an hour, I think, that we've been on here yammering to you. I'm going to throw a different thing on the bottom here for those that, actually, I'll throw it up there. You can check out the photos from the last couple years of Axialfest and other Horizon signature events at horizonhobby.smugmug.com. There you'll find quite a few images. The Badlands ones, I do believe, are up there from this year already, and within like a week or two afterwards, we'll have the West ones in there as well. You can download them for free, and then also SmugMug has their other stuff you can do. You can get T-shirts made, coffee mugs, whatever that they have offered on their site as well. So, yeah.
Let's see. We got some Vancouver, Canada crawlers asking if they could ship us some West Coast scale merch.
Is that Robin?
That's Robin, yeah.
He wants us to do an Axialfest Canada.
Yeah. I don't know if we have enough time in the summer to do all this.
Other questions? What do you guys got? What do you got? I said we're going to hang out for a few more minutes. Throw them out there. Ask them.
What about pets?
Oh, that's a great question. I'm trying to remember what Rob's resorts.
On leash all the time?
I think I'm not exactly sure what it was last year. We're gonna have to look that one up and get back to you on that one. Yeah, I don't know.
I can't remember pets. I don't remember seeing any pets last year.
I don't think so. Obviously, service animals are welcome for sure. But we'll get that one answered. We'll get that on the next live, or if we can get the answer soon enough, we'll throw it out here.
Trail count. We have 12 trails
ish,
100 gates long.
Did you go through the daily schedule? Yes. Joseph, we already went through all that, so you'll be able to watch this afterwards and go through it. Iguanas allowed.
Will trails be open later than Saturday afternoon so we can crawl Saturday evening like last year?
Nope.
In the evening, we have Bill and Dooley out there and some other employees out there pulling us so we can get out of there in a timely fashion on Sunday as well. So get your evening trailing done Thursday, Friday night. All day, just stay up.
Yeah, probably sometime late afternoon. I think Dooley might be able to jump in here and speak to that. What time? But they start pulling the trails out out in the woods, probably right about that time or right after the nightly awards start up. Um, that way, it's not having to do it after dark and on Sunday, because we basically have to have everything cleaned up and out of there on Sunday, and there's a lot to do. So yeah, that's the reason behind that.
Is the Wi-Fi still bad, or can we work from home?
There is no cell service whatsoever. Rob's does have a Wi-Fi guest set up, but the more people on it, the slower it is. So that's about all I can say about that one. There's no guarantees. Just like any service, it could go down, and when it gets busy, a lot of people are on it.
Yep.
It can be really slow. So I would not plan on working from home or having to do anything extremely important on the guest Wi-Fi network. You can always run down the hill, I guess, but yeah.
Christopher, iguanas are allowed. Only dogs below knee height. No amputee cats are permitted.
Dooley did jump in there and say that they start tearing down the trails once we start giving out raffle tickets. So everybody should be up there for the final night raffle on Saturday. If I missed the pre-sale tickets, which you did, can I still buy a ticket at the event or online somewhere else today? You can buy your tickets at the event, but not until 9 a.m. on Thursday. You cannot come on Wednesday since you didn't pre-register. The tickets are not available online anywhere else. The reason we do the pre-registration is for multiple reasons. One, to get you guys locked in to know who's coming. We have to order T-shirts and all the stuff for the driver's bags well in advance. So
stickers, badges.
We can't keep registration open that late, because then we'll order way too many or not enough. And we'll be in a bad situation either way. So that's why we do that. And incentivize everybody to kind of lock in as early as possible. We know not everybody can do it. We try to announce early enough and keep it open long enough. I want to say it was probably open 3 months or so this year, if not more. And so but you can still come up on Thursday at 9 a.m. is when we'll start. We'll have on-site registration as well. So camper wastewater dump. Yes, there are 2 of them, I do believe, that you can clean out before you leave.
And Jay is asking, what nights do we get to crawl with the 2 of you and Randall? Well, Randall and I can crawl pretty much either night.
I won't be crawling at all.
Doing any.
No crawl for me. I walk real slow on flat ground.
He'll be crawling out of there.
I will. Yeah, I will literally be on all fours crawling. So, no crawling for me this year at either Axialfest. So,
and yes, Jay, there will be a parts vendor. It is Jake's.
Did Jay just join us?
I think Jay just joined us.
That would be why he's asking all the questions everybody's already asked or we've answered. That's okay. All right, I think it's about that time. I said 7 minutes ago.
Okay.
So this is your last chance. Throw anything out there before we're done.
I did just join. Sorry.
Slacker.
So
yeah, this is last call for any comments, questions, concerns. If you're watching this not live and later on, we will go back and check this and answer any questions. Our plan is to do probably 1, if not 2 lives before Wednesday, depending on how things are going. Isaac and I leave
special
here.
Guests as well.
Yep, Isaac and I leave here early Saturday morning, and then everybody else kind of comes up from Southern California and Utah and from around the ways from around there. So, I think that's about it.
Will you guys accept if we try to buy you a beer? Well, we can't buy any beer, but
Except what?
I guess accept a beer.
How much are margaritas at the bar? They're $0 because they don't have them. If you missed it, Rob's no longer has a liquor's license, so they do not sell
so if
alcohol.
You're passing them out and we're not working, I guess we would accept it.
All right, let's wrap this up.
Okay.
Cool. All right.
All right, guys. Thanks
Put
for
those
joining.
questions in there anyway. If we miss you, we'll get back to you. But yeah,
We'll get back to you about the pets and Milo sweet tea for Bill and Dooley.
all right. Thanks everybody for watching. Appreciate it. Like always,
Thanks,
any
guys.
comments, concerns, throw them in there. We'll get back to you, and we'll be back on a live from hopefully from Rob's Resort in a few days, and we'll see everybody up there. About time to push that button.
Push the button.
All right, that's a couple buttons we found out last time. There's one button